What is good, everyone? Today we have a very predictable story. Very predictable story we're going to talk about. But before I get into all that, of course, thanking you all. We're closing in on 40,000 total purchasers. If I go right there, as you see, we're at 3.433 million, almost 40,000 total purchasers. We will have an update, maybe as early as tomorrow, about like fulfillment and other, just basically it's issue one, consider that, of our like content series that we're going to be releasing over at Riververse Comics YouTube. So you're going to want to stay tuned to that. It's a lot of informative information and some information, of course, you're going to be wanting to get in on, considering if you are a customer and actual customers or potential customers. Hope you guys, you guys are going to enjoy the story. I can't wait for you certainly to get it. But again, thank you guys for all the support. Kelvin C is still available. Of course, Riververse Hat's still available. So much stuff you can still get in on. So thank you for the support. But before, or rather after, I guess, this story right here, Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, something so predictable. And you have right here, for example, the Daily Beast, the Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, team already fears racist backlash against cast. I'm not going to sit up here and go through this debacle, but long story short, it doesn't really honor Tolkien. This is just some vanity kind of projects for some of the actors, actresses, and producers and such that are involved. And as to be expected, when they are faced with a criticism, they are going to say, well, they have a series of cards that they want to, bam, apply. Often they're Hail Marys because they think a lot of this stuff can just go away. It's going to be well received. And a lot of them get so confused that someone would dare point them out as bad actors or point out the fact that they're not good at their jobs. Okay. So people look at that, they have issues with it. They criticize be it the trailer or the fact that there's these would be how the dwarves or elves are being portrayed. And it's funny because as you see with this little subtitle here, it says "Not This Again." Like, so they already know, even the Hack Access Media folk even know what this is. Like, they have in their mind that the person or groups of people that are criticizing this are racist or going to be misogynistic or something like that. Says right here in the caption, trolls are already coming after Black Puerto Rican actor Ismael Cruz-Córdova over his role as an elf in Amazon's $1 billion Lord of the Rings series. And there's a comment here. It's funny. They also mention in the actual article, it says, while most fans J.R.R. Tolkien are waiting for the series with welcoming arms, I don't know about that. There's still a bit of worry about racist and sexist pushback. It's a problem Star Wars has faced in the past. John Boyega was removed from a Chinese poster for The Force Awakens. That's not us. That's not our fault. Got Kelly Marie Tran was bullied off social media, and recently Obi-Wan Kenobi's villain Moses Ingram struggled with more racist backlash. Same thing. Hey, this is the large criticism, and it has nothing to do with the fact that there's some racism at play or something. They'll try to find that one, not show me the receipts, even on those, some weird account who says something, and they'll say it act like that represents the vast majority of the criticisms it is that they are getting, when 99% of it obviously has nothing to do with that. And they know that. It's just that this shields them from their legitimate criticism. And we talked about a little bit of this with Disparu on Tuesday night's main event, how really disgusting it is how they use these kind of actors. Or I can't feel sorry for the actors or actresses because they put themselves in that position. They took the gigs, and not only that, they are the ones that go on the press tours, like the chick that's I can't remember her name, but Dissa is doing right now, and that's race. This is so powerful. This is so revolutionary. Yada 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 yada, and they're putting her out there to basically try to deflect the the criticism from the actual show, because when the criticisms happen now, they will then fall back on, well, it's because of racism and misogyny. But here's the hilarious part. So the real life trolls have started voicing their gripes about Ismael Cruz-Córdova, a black Puerto Rican man playing an elf, as well as young Galadriel, a woman on the show who apparently doesn't look feminine enough because of the armor she's wearing. The show's executive producer, Lindsay Weber, however you say it, is ready to shut this down. And now this is the executive producer, if I'm not mistaken, that also said that this Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power thing is going to, it basically is going to represent kind of the world in itself and how it exists right now and all that sort of stuff. And that was their goal, which is weird because, it's a story that was already told, or rather the world foundation was laid by J.R.R. Tolkien, and you can't gaslight people and act like that doesn't exist. Remember, this is a far more sophisticated audience than they've ever dealt with. So this isn't going to go well regardless. It worked, I think, a lot because of the Marvel stands, DC stands. These guys are clapping seals. They'll take whatever. But I think with Tolkien, it's a little different. But this is the part of what she said, which is hilarious. We're all up for criticism, she said. We're not up for racism. There it is. The trailers, the promotional items have been ratioed basically on every platform that they've been on, every channel that they've been on. It's not being well received. It is a very significant thing. They know that. So what else do they have left? Well, reach in that old trusty pocket and pull that racism card. Because then, no matter what your actual criticism is, and even if you are saying that, well, because of how this world is and the setting, it doesn't make sense for this character to be black or have a bald fade or whatever, that's not a criticism that's rooted in racism. For the same reason, and I hate to say this, actually, no, I don't, because it proves my exact point. If you're doing something based on some sort of African folklore, then you kind of expect the people that are living in that area to look a certain way. Definitely if it was something some set of mythology that was already wrote by the person and they defined it over very descriptive, and you can use kind of your context clues on everything else, considering that, well, the only reason this exists is because, considering the area where he's at, he wanted to give J.R.R. Tolkien, that is, wanted to give them their own sort of set of mythology. So it ain't nothing wrong with that at all. It doesn't mean that if you're black, you can't enjoy it, or if you're Hispanic or Latino or whatever, you can't enjoy it. That's not what that says at all. But that's not a criticism rooted in racism. That doesn't mean that you are kind of doing something nefarious here or being a bad person just for simply pointing that out. But what this sets them up for is that they get to say, hey, look, you were criticizing us, and it doesn't matter what it is. Hey, this suit looks goofy, or it doesn't really make sense that this person in this role. People see the show, and the actors or actresses are not really doing a good job, which a lot of Moses Ingram's criticisms seem to be surrounding that. Well, you think they're not doing a good job, or you're criticizing them, and that alone means you're racist. You just can't stand to see black women succeed or some stupid stuff like that. It's boring. So when they say, not again, y'all are the one that's playing the card, not us. Losers. Yo, I appreciate you as always. And if you're into comics or want to get into them, go visit Rippaverse.com, where you can check out my own comic book company, Rippaverse Publishing. Our first book, ISOM #1, is currently up for pre-order right now. You can also check out the company trailer and the ISOM campaign trailer so that you can make an informed purchase. We've cleared over $3.3 million in sales, and many of our supporters are viewers just like yourselves. And because of that, I have to thank you all personally. I do appreciate you. I can't wait for you to learn more about Isom himself and already fan favorite Yaira. We ship internationally, so no matter what side of the globe you're on, we love to have you as a customer. Much love and big thanks.